Nano-boosted Bastion.
I saw that.
Nano-boosted Bastion, Lova.
And
Welcome
not
back,
only
by the
a
way.
Bastion, a tank Bastion, shredding through that team.
I've never seen anything
Holy.
like it, and I just love that it's Nano-boosted Bastion against ninjas in pajamas. I love it. And that's the quirky kind of plays that I was talking about that I love. I love that.
You're going against a team that is famous right now for being one of the most fast climbing teams in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
Ninjas in Pajamas kind of came out of nowhere, wasn't really establishing themselves, and all of a sudden, boom, they're there.
Yeah.
Winning a lot of things. But Melty is also the biggest team in France. And we saw that. You know, we were talking a lot about, you know, a little bit of a quirky, a little bit of a newfound strategy, and all of a sudden we see a Bastion on the point. And this is so rare, and it actually paid off so well. In the end, sadly,
that's the thing.
I need to say
paid off.
sadly, but McCree got the play of the game.
He did. Well, no, in my opinion, the real play of the game is, of course, the Nano.
The Bastion was amazing, and there's so much work you can get down with that, because you're just flipping missiles left and right. You can jump with it, and if you're nano boosted, you also take that less percentage of damage. You're already taking a small amount of damage, a less amount of damage from your rockets than enemies are.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're nano boosted, you take even less damage. It's almost free to rocket jump around those enemies. And as long as you aim to the ground, you are almost 100% guaranteed to hit anything within melee range. And not only that, you're becoming the most dangerous sniper in the game.
Yeah, and I love that Melty Esports showed that they had the cojones to just go in there and actually try to have this very strange combination. To have, sure, Reinhardt wasn't that strange, but having Bastion, Ana, and Mercy, trying to combine those three ultimates together. I mean, they combined it perfectly.
We see why player hates.
They did a perfect combination.
We see why
Maybe it
player
didn't pay off
hates
all that much,
Bastion
but-
now.
Really?
We see why players hate Bastion. Did you see what that Bastion did?
Yes, indeed. But unfortunately, it's easy countered once you've met him enough.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Once or twice, if you kind of catch him out of position, you're kind of dead. But that tank, hooey, you're just going in there like, choo choo, this train has no brakes and I'm coming for you.
Indeed.
Killing people left and right. But I also have to remind you of something else than the awesome Bastion play.
Oh.
We do have a lot of contests going on in the background while we're playing
That's very true, but I wasn't here when you first announced the competition, so would you mind telling me as well as the audience?
To brief all of the audience, we're giving the players and the teams here the greatest matches of their lives. And we also have a pretty big prize pool of $4,000 going to the first team, $750 going to the second, and $250 going for the third. But you viewers are not missing out. For our viewers, we have 6 G2A gift cards, and to win these gift cards we have something on our Facebook page, facebook.com/King of Nordic. We're King of Nordic everywhere, so we're easy to find. But to enter this competition, you will have to tag your friend that you would love to play with, or someone that you just feel like, this is my bro, this is my duo queue partner, something of the like. The one that you really enjoy playing with.
This is my Junkrat to my Roadhog.
Exactly. We want you to tag that person in your life on our Facebook page, and then he has a chance of winning, or she, or they, have a chance of winning a €20 gift card.
One of these.
One of these that are featured on the screen right now. And the amazing thing with this is that this is your bro, and you're just, all of a sudden you're giving him 200 Swedish crowns or €20. And we also have a Twitter competition, and in the Twitter competition you can tweet at us at what games do you think that we will see in the semi-final and the final. The semi-finals are still best of 3, the finals are best of 5. You need to take out your predictions, take out your sort of like psychic mentality, and just which team will play against each other, what will the score be. The best predictions of tonight, the 2 best predictions of tonight tweeted at us, will win one €20 Blizzard card each. There's one trick to this though. Since it's Twitter and these cards have codes on their back, we cannot send you them unless you follow us.
Oh, yes, of course. So make sure to follow us on Twitter right now, which is twitter.com/King of Nordic. We are, as you said, named King of Nordic everywhere.
And we cannot actually just PM you the code before you follow us. That is sort of a Twitter policy that unless someone follows you, you cannot message them. And that is why we need you as a winner to follow our Twitter page so that we can actually PM you the code and you can get your sweet cash for predicting these awesome matches. But we don't only have competitions, we also have one more quarterfinal to play in this awesome evening of the playoffs. And for that quarterfinal, we will have the rosters here. We are seeing Ninjas with Attitude, and here we have Hippok, Vat7, Spree, Kratzodiga, Hafikul, and Relask. I wanted to
Real Z, I think.
I wanted to read Relax, but I realized way too long into that it
You realized that it didn't say real.
Relax.
Relax.
No, it's real. It's real. Real.
Just a tongue twister, dude. Just a tongue twister.
And facing them tonight, we have Riddle Esport. And I just want to comment really quickly. While we see their lineup here, Slim Carry, Eskil, Maniox, Dean, Saro7, and Horsey, this is one of the teams that is sort of a jack in the box tonight.
Okay, a little bit of a joker, eh?
Yes, this is a little bit of a joker. This is one of the teams that qualified to our playoffs by trial of combat in sort of a way.
Ooh.
The trick though is that during the making of the playoffs, while we were inviting every team, setting up everything so that it would be perfect for you, getting you all the swag that you need, they actually managed to change up their roster. Pretty much every player that we see here is new. We have never seen them compete before, so we do not know where their talent lies. So this team will be one of the hardest to predict what they will perform against Ninjas with Attitude. We have already seen Epiphany Bolt, and Riddle Esport and Nordic Alphas was the two teams that merged into the Epiphany Bolt. So we saw most of our former qualifier players from Riddle going into the Epiphany, and we saw them going out strong. So what in the world have Riddle brought together that might be even stronger than their last lineup?
I don't know, but I'm really excited to see what it is. So excited, in fact, that I can't wait for the veto.
Me neither, and we're gonna see how they want to play with this new team. But we want to hype up all the teams, right? We don't really pick a favorite here. We of course have sort of the underdog with Riddle Esport since they're the qualified teams, and everybody hopes for an underdog story. That's just the thing. We always love the underdog story. But at the same time, Ninjas with Attitude is currently, like said before, one of the teams that is on the rising. They have been playing
they are climbing like it's nobody's business.
They are climbing like squirrels, playing competitions and tournaments left and right this whole September, playing so well that they have won the majority of them, and even in Overwatch Open, I believe, they finished fifth or sixth place.
I did not know that.
So currently, this is an unsigned team. No organization had picked them up. Compared to NIP, Reunited, Misfits, all of them that has been featured on a lot of tournaments. Ninjas with Attitudes is one of those teams that goes out there without an organization so far.
Well, you heard it here first. If you're from an organization or have an organization, Ninjas with Attitude don't have anyone yet, so contact them.
A lot of people have actually been predicting that this is probably the month October that we will see Ninjas being picked up by an organization. Because of their incredible performance last month, so many of the organizations are looking to pick a new team up, and this is one of them that has some promising compositions and some promising players. And looking at the maps, it's very standard at the moment. Achenwald, together with Temple and Gibraltar, are all
but here
fairly
we see
banned.
King's Row getting banned.
And that is not common.
That is not common at all.
On the other hand, we also have Riddle Esport banning 3 of the control map points, so we only have one control map point left, and that is no one actually. Never mind.
Nope.
They're going away.
Like, wait a second.
One thing that I need to comment on though is that Volskaya Industries has never ever been seen here before.
No. So we actually might be able to see Volskaya Industries depending. Route 76 as first map?
66, but Soldier is also an awesome character being played on Route 66.
May have fucked up the words there a little bit.
This is incredible. Route 66 is also, I think we've seen it once before. Once. In 4 weeks of qualifiers, in the first 3 matches here, or this is the fourth and final match before we go into the semifinals and then on to the finals. And now we see 2 pretty much new maps being picked all at once.
Indeed. So it's going to be real exciting, especially. I'm really looking forward to the Volsky Industries, but hopefully we'll get there, at least in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll have to just wait and see if we get the Volsky.
I am really interested though, because now we have the Jack in the Box team, a team that is not being picked up by an organization, but still is on the rise. So we have two pretty much unknown variables already. We know that Ninjas with Attitude can perform. We know that Riddle has had a great team before, and that they made a little bit mix up in the lineup. So they are probably picking up a really good setup, some amount of good players, and now we also have all of these sort of jack-in-the-box maps where we've never seen a team adapt before. There is so much unknown variables that this is going to be such an exciting game.
You know what? Here's my prediction, because I want to win one of these.
You want one to win?
No, not one of these, right? If I do a prediction?
If you do prediction, you win this. You're absolutely correct. This is
So
the
I'm
Blizzard €20 gift card.
Indeed. So I'm going to do a little bit of prediction right now. Okay? Okay. I just gotta think a little bit for a second here. Just gonna see some notes. I actually wrote down some stuff. Okay, Riddle Esports is going to win the first map, in my opinion. And then Ninjas with Attitude, they're going to get the second one.
Alright.
And then, I don't know.
You don't know.
I just want to see Volskaya Industries, and I want to see what Ninjas with Attitude can pull out of their hat on that one.
What do you think about this bracket, though? We now see Misfits. We know that they are super strong, but we also know that Epiphany Bolt put up a big challenge against them. So maybe Misfits is a little bit shooken after this. They might have come into this sort of playoff with the mentality that, oh, since we just now have been the best team in Europe, almost in the world currently, we will have everything as a cakewalk. And all of a sudden they're getting their Jimmy's shambled by that Epiphany.
Yeah.
Do you think that they might have been thrown off balance enough for Fragsters that have shown that they are nothing to play with, that they might actually win over Misfits? Or do you think that Misfits will go to the final?
That is a possibility. That is a possibility. That is definitely something that could be. That their confidence is kind of shaken down. They were coming in all big and strong, and then they were kind of shut down and be like, wait, what? We actually have real competition?
They did, though, pick up themselves in the games, adapting to the team, which made them look super strong.
Oh yeah. They are still strong. Don't get me wrong. They're strong as all hell. But maybe their confidence is a little bit shaken because of the fight that the Fragsters put up.
They might be, not the Fragsters, but the Epiphany.
Oh,
and Fragsters will put up a fight.
I'm sorry,
that we also
I'm sorry.
know.
A little bit of confusion there from my side, and I do apologize for that.
What do you think, though? Do you think that we will see two Ninjas in the semi-final, or do we think that we will see Riddle versus Ninja?
That would kind of be like the Shimada brothers attacking each other, and I would like to see that. And here we see a little playful banter from Ninjas with Attitude here when they're coming out of the defense point. The May wall blocking the teammates, and I don't know, it feels like Ninjas with Attitude are one of those teams that are really, really good, but they aren't forgetting the key thing about Overwatch, about any game, at least in my opinion. Having fun.
Why you have to be mad?
Having fun. Having fun, that's the key point of any game, competitive or not, at least in my opinion. And I feel as if Ninjas with Attitude has that, so I don't know.
I think that if you're having fun, you just pull down the stress level at least 3 notches. And that is something that is so important as a team, because if your stress rises too much, you might miss some communication because you're too absorbed into what is happening, why is it happening, and just kind of absorbing yourself, like putting yourself in a bubble. And if all the teammates start doing that, you might have no communication whatsoever, and that is super important to have in this 6v6 matchup that we see in Overwatch. But now we see that Riddle Esport is pushing up to the first point where Ninjas with Attitude are looking to defend. And here we see on the roof of the gas station that they are defending quite well. Slim Carry is always looking for a pick or two. Now Riddle Esport is on the point together with Ninjas with Attitude, and we do not know who is going to come out on top. So far, Reels is picking up a lot together with Spree, and they are going into that backline, denying the healers really quickly and the tanks as well. And now we see no healers for Riddle Esport, and they are being pushed back all the way to spawn. Spree and Reels, where did they come from? We just saw Ninjas with Attitude sort of chilling on the roof like the turtles they are, and then all of a sudden, boom, in the Riddle Esport backline, picking up Dean, Eskil, Horsey, and Zoro. Just all of a sudden, where did Riddle go wrong? Now it's the time that they really need to see, okay, what happened that fight? We got picked off way too quick to really see anything, so now we really need to know where are they coming from. And I think Riddle is starting to do that a little bit better, but Happy Cool and Reels are also picking it up so quickly at the moment. What7 is now also just in there, bashing people left and right together with Happy Cool that is in the backline, picking up the Lucio, and now Riddle Esport once again has almost no healing left. How is this possible? How is Ninjas with Attitude being able to just slip through that front line so easily? I think that it is the Mei on this high ground, and I think that Riddle has noticed this by the play that they're making currently. Now they're going up to the high ground. They don't want to get caught off guard. Now they're dropping onto the payload because they know where Mei is, so they don't really mind her at the moment. And now we see the fire wheel coming out. Graviton Surge coming out from the Ninjas with Attitude Zarya, almost wiping everybody in an instant together with Wat7 and Happy Cool. And now we see a sort of distressed Sorrow that has the Nano boost but is still not able to pick up enough. And Happy Cool did all of that without the Death Blossom. So now we have to Death Blossom for the next engage. Happy Cool together with Wat7, what is going on? We only saw one ultimate being used there for that level of devastation. While Riddle is now boosting up all of their ultimates, trying to get back into some sort of hand-to-hand combat with the ninjas. They need to look out for those flankers.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And here we can see that Death Blossom going out together with a nano boost. And he is just melting through that Reinhardt as if he was a butter. He's just lying there, dead on the ground. Can he get this McCree? Yeah, he got this McCree, of course.
He picked up a lot of people, that was really impressive, but at the same time, we cannot deny Slim Carry that he was really well at just earth-shattering as soon as Happy Cool went down there. You saw Happy Cool going down with the Death Blossom and the Nano Boost, and of course the damage is way too much for the Reinhardt to even stop at least 1 or 2 kills, but now we know that not Slim Carry, but Maniox has the potential to block a lot of ultimates, and that is something that Ninjas with Attitude really need to look out for now.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I'm sorry, I kind of zoned out because of the tweet that we saw earlier, so I do apologize for that. So I don't really have anything to add to that. I think you did a pretty good job of covering it.
And talking about tweets, hashtag King of Nordic is currently shown on stream, and that is our hashtag for you guys to communicate with us casters. Set us off guard, catch us with some funny jokes so that we might be a little bit shimmy-shambled here while we're casting this awesome game between Ninjas with Attitude and Riddle Esport.
I mean, that tweet just tickled my jimmies so hard, so I was just trying to choke. So yeah, there we go. EA Spurts! Just a game!
And now we see though Happy Cool in that Graviton Surge still dealing a lot of damage together with the Nano Boost, but he is going to go down to Maniox that has that great Earth Shatter into that Nano Boost, stunning almost everybody in Ninjas with Attitude, making them taking over the payload. Even though it's overtime, they can get this to the checkpoint now, because now Ninjas with Attitude are looking at a very far sprint. They have to run so far to get into the point, and if Riddle Esport now manages to block off just 1 or 2 players, they once again have to kind of reset, reform, and then try to go for it one more time. And we see Slim Carry here with the ultimate, and Genji is also not that far off from his ultimate, already picking off one high poke from the healers, which is really big, but in the end no one was on the point while the overtime was ticking, and that means Reels just completely shattered the Riddle Esport team with that Blizzard, and that is really, really important, because all of a sudden it looked so good for Riddle. They were gonna push it up to the new point, getting some extra time to reset and just push further in. They even had the pick on Hypok that was the healers, which made Ninjas with Attitude get in such a disadvantage.
I feel so sorry for them right now. I mean, they had the upper hand. They were going on a roll, and they lost on such a technicality. Oh,
that overtime is treacherous for both teams, because you can grow stable on that.
I bet that they're just kicking themselves right now for losing on such a basic thing that you learn in the beginning of the game when you start playing Overwatch. I bet they're kicking themselves right now, and maybe that will actually affect the way that they are playing right now. Hopefully they can just take a second to relax, take one step back, breathe for a couple of seconds, and just regroup.
But since it's only the second time this lineup is actually trying to compete together, this team has shown that they still have the teamwork that is necessary for competitive play. Sure, you might kick yourself a little bit, but that is nothing that you need to, like, you can't get stuck on that. You can't get stuck on, oh shit, we fucked up.
Nah, but it's easy.
It is easy.
It is very
too
easy. Yeah.
And it's too important now that Riddle is more supporting of each other than kicking themselves, because we've seen Maniox with a great reaction time. We've seen Sorrow together with Slim Carry with some great damage coming out. Dean is always there with the ultimates when it's needed, and Eskil has also been there on the Lucian. Now playing a Mercy, maybe they will actually be able to hold themselves together more than enough to actually not have Ninjas with Attitude get further than them. Because now we see Ninjas with Attitude, of course they will have a longer run to the point as soon as they get over this corner than Riddle. But at the same time, they have been showing that they are a super strong team, Ninjas with Attitude. They've shown that we did not lose our September spirit this Halloween. We are keeping the push going. We are keeping our win streak, and now we are hungry for more. They're going trick-and-treating left and right in these tournaments, and they are just picking candy from every house they can.
You're really into Halloween, dude.
Halloween is one of the best holidays ever, and with these new skins it is incredible. But we will see Happy Cool, What 7, Resix, and once again Happy Cool together with a double kill, and that makes Ninjas with Attitude just push into the point with ease. Riddle Esport is obliterated sadly, and now we see us that Riddle Esport might have actually been kicking themselves a little bit too much. They set up perfectly onto that roof. They were looking at a really good high ground advantage, but they jumped down a little bit too quick. They went onto the point a little bit too early, so that Ninjas with Attitude had some time to regroup and shatter their backlines. And that is something really important for Riddle. We have seen your performance. We know what you can do. We know that you do not fail under pressure, but you cannot be too you cannot criticize yourself too much in this sort of situation.
I'm definitely calling salt on this one. Unfortunately, I'm calling salt on this one, and it's sad to see. Of course, it's never fun to see that, but it is a thing that's happening in esports, whether you want it or not. Whether you want it or not, it happens in regular sport too. It's just human behavior, but you have to kind of surpass that somehow in order to just do that real comeback that you want to.
You really have to just put yourself back together, step up and go through. And we saw there, of course, Ninjas with Attitude was so strong the whole game through. They were so synchronized. Indeed. It was crazy. It was like a machinery with most of those ultimates.
Oh yeah,
and
it was.
I think that Riddle is looking at a really hard team to compete against, but I also see that Ninjas sometimes are getting caught out of position more than they want to. Riddle Esport has already showed us that they're not afraid for the wombo combo battles. They are ready to counter a lot of ultimates. They are ready to themselves go back in, wipe an enemy team, and then get to the point. The only problem was that a little bit off focus. They sort of left the point too early while they were still pushing and going strong.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it's unfortunate, but hopefully we will see some sort of comeback soon enough.
I think we will see a comeback really soon. As soon as we get into the next map, I think that Riddle Esport will pick themselves back together, talk a little bit with the team. What map do we want to play now? We saw what happened on this push the payload, and now they want to go head on to Volskaya Industries. And I think that this might be a map that fits Riddle.
You think so?
Yes, because we saw Ninjas with Attitude. They were really strong at holding this sort of point on the roof, but at the same time, they only managed to push back Riddle maybe 3 times. And then Riddle just came back up with all the ultimates and completely wiped
That is very
Ninjas with
true.
Attitude.
That is very true. So you would say that Ninjas with Attitude perhaps they prefer the attacking style rather than the defending style?
I think more Ninjas with Attitude is the team that sort of wants to be able to reform in a way. And I think we see that a little bit at the Riddle side as well, but I also see them as some strong pair or individuals that doesn't have the fear of going in themselves. Ninjas with Attitude were much more grouped together, always doing everything hand in hand, ulting left and right, and sometimes they sent their Happy Cool Reaper off to pick out 1 or 2 players, but he was never far away from the rest of the team. He would always have the team to come back down to and just being able to heal up, get some safe space, wait for those cooldowns to be re-enabled, but that doesn't really work when you have this attack and defend sort of playstyle, because if you wipe the enemy team, say once or twice that they did on this push the cart,
Mhm.
they will be sent back to spawn, they will go to the cart, and they will push towards you one more time. And that gives Ninjas with Attitude the time to set up and almost know where they're gonna attack Riddle. But if this happens, if the same scenario happens here in Volskaya Industries, we might see Ninjas with Attitude wiping Riddle one or twice, and then Riddle comes back so strong that they wipe the whole enemy team in just that super quick succession that they were doing when they pushed the cart. Instead of pushing the cart towards Ninjas with Attitude spawn where they were reforming, they just take the point where Ninjas with Attitude cannot go in one by one if they're playing this sort of style.
That is very true, and I'm super excited to see what's actually going to happen at Volskaya Industries, because as we mentioned before we went into Route 66, this is the first time that we actually have Volskaya Industries right here on King of Nordic Overwatch Cup. So it's going to be real interesting to see what's going on.
How are they going to play around this map? What are they going to set up for strategies? Are they going to go from Bastion this time as well?
Oh, Bastion and Ana, please.
Because
please.
Volskaya Industries actually have some of the better Bastion spots in the game.
That is very true, and that is something, I mean, let's have competitive Bastion. More competitive Bastion, please.
It is sort of a good pick, but also this bad pick, because as we see, a lot of players play both Reaper and they play Tracer.
Yeah.
And that puts up a lot of trouble for poor Bastion.
That is very true, and a lot of flankers as well. I was thinking mainly about Genji. Not because high skilled players are getting fooled about Genji's E anymore, but because he can come behind so easily. So that might be an issue if you're playing Bastion.
And at the same time, even if you're not sort of bad enough or no unskilled enough to shoot into that E, it still has this sort of mind games potential where the Genji can dash into the Bastion, and that is already 100 damage just instantly on you, and
yeah,
that will scare you. So now you want to pick off Genji as soon as possible, but you can't really go all out because of that E. And at the same time, Genji can just kite around you, trying to do some small damages, pick you off, and when you finally start to lose your patience and spray against him, he uses his E and you're dead.
And that's very true. So yeah, Genji pick will definitely be something that counters a Bastion. I gotta be honest though, I don't predict to see a Bastion.
Me neither,
I gotta
sadly.
be real honest. But I don't predict the Bastion happening.
We also talked about Diva being something we wanted to see, and this I think is much more likely on Volskaya Industries.
That is very true. Diva is very strong on Volskaya Industries, definitely, definitely. Just before we kind of continue there, I want to address this tweet right there. Nip Gaming will be in the final. Let's go, boys! And then he's tagged some of the members that are playing here tonight for Ninjas in Pajamas. And I would just like to... I interrupted our little talk. I know that's rude, and I'm sorry. But I just wanted to address the wonderful people out there who are tweeting to us and chatting to us and just in general communicating with us.
And it's not rude, because then we interact another part of this conversation, right? We love you viewers. We might just have this dialogue while you're sitting there and watching, and it's a little bit awkward for us because we don't really know what your response is at all times. But you have the possibility to be featured in stream so that we can read out what your thought is with these tweets at hashtag King of Nordic. Come and interact with us. We will read your tweets. Maybe not always read them out, maybe not always announce them, but they're always there for us and we love it. But if it's a high intense moment in a game, we might not be able to just read your tweet this moment.
Nano boosted Reinhardt, screw that. We're reading tweets.
We're reading tweets. Even if the biggest wombo combo is going down in history, nano boosted Bastion, your tweet goes for.
Oh no.
Oh, wrong? No?
No. I interrupt everything for a nano boosted Bastion. A nano boosted, as we can see here, we have.
How about a nano boosted Symmetra?
I was just about to say it. I kind of lost it there. That would be. I don't know what I would do, honestly, Lola.
With a nano boosted Symmetra?
If you see a nano boosted Symmetra, I think I'm actually going to lose my mind.
I mean, it wouldn't be too bad, actually, because first of all, she slows while she attacks you. That beam is constantly gathering power. The longer it is on you, the more damage it does. And it slows you. A problem with it, though, is that one, you're squishy as Symmetra. 2, you're a little bit slow as Symmetra, so the nano boost might actually be a great potential for Symmetra to be one of those super great attacking heroes.
That's just gonna be one of those meme attacks in that case because they had Reinhardt.
And sadly, we see here she going out for Reels with the Symmetra going out first to Maniox together with the Genji in the backline. Zoro is going ham on the point together with the Maniox, but they are quickly getting picked down by 3 and What7. They did not tolerate them abusing their poor Symmetra there. They want the teleporter quickly and they want the teleporter guaranteed. And we see the turrets here doing some work on Lucio, slowing him down, always getting the kill, and now we see the sorry spray. And
oh, that BM. I love it.
Sort of cheeky BM, but at the same time a lot of awesome moments for us to see what happens. And I kind of starting to understand the Symmetra pick more and more, because now we're looking at a 3-tank setup for Ninjas with Attitude. We're looking at 1 healer, or 2 healers and 1 support. Or not 1 support, I mean 2 healers and 1 semi-support. And there has been rumors of this new sort of meta. 3 tanks,
as we
3
saw
supports.
Ninjas in Pyjamas doing. Well, not 3 supports. We saw Ninjas in Pyjamas doing 3 tanks and then just the rest of the stuff. And yeah, I definitely think that that's a thing. They're just having 3 tanks and maybe, as you say, 3 supports.
This is something that has been discussed a lot lately of being a meta with the 3 tanks and the 3 support setup, because a lot of the tanks currently do have enough damage to pick off a guy. Just like this, Happy-Cool picks off Eskil pretty much with ease with that hook. And at the moment, a tank that can get sort of pocket dead, if you want to phrase it like that, with a healer, might be one of the scariest thing that your team is looking at, because you might not have the damage to actually pick them down. And as we see Slim Carry and Zoro both playing these sort of flanker characters, the teleporter is in great danger, but the rest of the team might not be in such a great danger, because we don't have enough damage here. Unless you sword with Genji, as we're doing right now. The Zenyatta ult is coming out to sort of protect the Genji, but he's also going down to the What7 as soon as that is going away. The Iris did not help too much. They got the teleporter though, but in the end it is Ninjas with Attitude picking up everything. Together What7 together with Reels and Happy-Cool, they just obliterate the team. They are showing that DPS is actually not a role that we want to play in this game. What are those? They're just bad in the solo comp, and we do not want none of them. We see What7 doing great damage. We see Happy-Cool with a great hook accuracy doing a lot of damage, and then the 100% boosted Zarya. It is a lot to take in from the enemy team, and once again here we see them, they just boost everything. And now we see the Graviton Surge together with Happy-Cool, What7, and they just go in there. They're so close in to the Riddle Esports faces that they do not have a problem with range, they do not have a problem with damage, because Reinhardt will do so much AoE together with Zarya, and then you have Happy-Cool in the backline being able to pick them out. And you're constantly supported by all this healing.
That's very true. I mean, they're just melting through it, and I can't really believe my eyes that a 3 support 3 tank meta was actually a thing. I just thought that the 3 tank was some kind of mysterious new meta that's been flowing around secretly, but apparently 3 support 3 tanks works.
It is not yet established though. It's still sort of in this testing phase, if you want to put it that way. Not all teams. Here we see the nano boosted Symmetra though. She's going ham together with One and she is picking out supports left and right. Reels running around with that beam, doing so much damage, picking out Eskil, and together with What7, that defense is too big for the Riddle Esport to handle. The beam is constantly on them, and they will get slowed, they will get damaged, and we see Symmetra just being so big here, pushing out Riddle Esport. No point was taken this game. How is Riddle gonna answer that play? We have seen a nano-boosted Bastion, we have seen Volskaya Industries, and now we see a nano-boosted Symmetra.
What the?
In their spawn as well. The balls and the beams are just going everywhere.
But that's I think that's what I was talking about earlier about Ninjas with Attitude. Yes, they realized that Riddle Esports realized that in the last 10 seconds, yeah, Riddle has lost that round, doesn't really matter. We can just meme it out and nano boost our Symmetra. We can put turrets outside of your camp. We can stand in your doorway because we like having fun. Especially when we saw that Reinhardt charging in, killing someone, instantly BMing, just because he's not taking it he's taking it seriously, don't get me wrong, but he's still doing it, you know, with a cheeky little fun side to it, and I love that. So I gotta say that I am actually on Niñas with attitude side. I think I'm rooting for them right now.
As brutal as that play was, though, there was nothing fun to it. Poor Riddle was at the mercy of laser beams left and right. If you've ever seen the Resident Evil movie where room
with the dicing.
The dicing. Poor Riddle was put into that room instantly as Symmetric came out with a nano boost, killing people, dicing them up, and just having whatever she wanted in that poor spawn.
Definitely. I'm just gonna add, by the way, I did not know the pun about Slim Carry being something like Jim Carrey until now.
You did not?
Nope. I just realized, and I quite like it.
It sort of is like a play on Slim Shady and Jim Carrey at the same time.
I like it. It's pretty dope.
It is very dope. And now we'll see Riddle with the Mercy Ana and a pretty standard comp here. We see Reaper, McCree, we see as the tanks, the Zarya and the Reinhardt, and then in the backline Eskil and Horse on both solo healing supports.
Hold the phone here. Am I seeing 5 tanks, 1 healer?
That is something that you see, and I actually disagree with this, but as I'm saying that, it's also working out. I think I know why you want to play this. 2 of the tanks are super quick, 2 of the tanks are super tanky, and 1 of the tanks have the great pick potential. I'm of course talking about the fast tanks being Winston and Diva, and the 2 more tanky tanks being Reinhardt and Zarya, and the great pick potential from Hafikul being used. And this might be just what they wanted to look at. They're constantly coming out with these super quirky plays.
Yes, and it's working, and I love it.
Ana is one of the best solo healing supports in the game currently. She's one with the greatest healing potential if we're not talking ultimates, because then it's Zenyatta. But Ana is so great with those heals that it is crazy to try to DPS that down. And then when you're staring at 5 tanks, even with a Reaper, that is scary. All of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, I can take 1 or 2 tanks out on. I am the big Reaper, Hardy Scardy, and I will bust those tanks open. And all of a sudden, Rodog hook you in while Zarya is shielding the one you're trying to attack. Reinhardt shield is there, so none of your team can do anything. And all while that is happening, Diva is in the front, just blocking whatever projectile you're sending against your team. And as soon as she's out, she's also have this sort of awesome little pea shooter that does so much damage quickly if you're not aware of the headshots that might.
That is very true, and it doesn't, as far as I know, it doesn't lose damage on range either.
It does not.
It doesn't. Okay, so it just retains the damage. Doesn't matter how far. Okay, yeah, that's balanced.
It's not much damage, but it's still.
True, that's true.
The little pea shooter is something to look out for, just like Mercy's little Glock.
Oh yeah.
The 2 pea shooters of the game that is very, very strong at most of the times.
Definitely. But I've got to say, I mean, what a game. I love this. I love Niñas with attitude. Niñas with attitude. I was reading the... Oh, well.
They might take over the pajamases of the other Niñas.
I love them. I've got to say, I think I'm in love. I definitely have a new favorite esports team of all time.
And you know what? You can still pick them up as an organization.
Yeah,
Ain't that crazy?
They're still able to be picked up, and I think that people are going to want to do that now that they've seen the potential, or they have seen for the past month, and even tonight as well, they have seen the potential of Niñas with attitude, and just...
Not only that, we've also seen Riddle's potential, because with this new lineup, it is going to be a little bit hard to be as synchronized as Niñas with Attitude. That has been an established team for a much longer time than Riddle, since they only played 2 really matches or tournaments together so far as this lineup. And just proving that, okay, we went up against a pro team, it might not have looked the best, but we still showed them that in the team fights, we are at least close to equal 9 out of 10 times.
And I also think that a big part of Riddle losing this is being thrown off balance. They do not expect 3 tanks, 3 supports. They did not expect 5 tanks, 1 healer. It is just these really random plays that we never really see in competitive if we can't really expect because it's not in the meta that everybody else plays. I think they got really thrown off balance, and that just cost them to lose the game. And that's one part of it.
Yeah, this is one of the meta-breaking things that we really want to see, because what happened this game? It was so fast. It was amazing plays all over the place with
Nano
different
boosted Symmetra.
Nano boost. We have had back-to-back Nano boosted Bastion and now a Nano boosted Symmetra, and we were joking like, ho, that is gonna be fun because you will run faster, take less damage, and the beam is gonna be on you at all times. And all of a sudden, in spawn, a Nano boosted Symmetra is just killing everything.
I can't take it. It's too much. It's great. I love it, but it's like Christmas for me right now because I didn't expect this.
We are breaking the meta like a shattered glass.
Yeah.
We're throwing stones at the meta currently. Go away,
Go away, Meta. We don't want your kind here, Meta. Ugh.
And it's working. It is working. Often you see this sort of like last struggle, last resort. Okay, we're gonna break the meta to bring out something new, but from the start, bringing out something new, something meta breaking, and just pushing through all the way with it, that is something amazing.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it.
We all love it here at King of Nordic. Like, we have had some really, really unexpected games here today. And so far now, we have qualified 4 teams for the semifinals.
So which are these teams?
We first qualified Misfits, and then we qualified Fragsters. So these two are going to face off against each other in the first semifinal. And then now we have qualified the 2 Ninja teams. Ninjas with attitude, and they have attitude. Holy!
They have
what have they done?
Attitude.
What have they done with the game? Nothing knows what happens anymore.
And I love their constant BMing. I love that it's kind of part of the with attitude part of their name. It's always BMing because they have attitude.
But they are going to face against the fearsome ninjas in pajamas. The non-meta breaking, but they're making it work with those strong picks, strong wombo combos. And now we have some really intense and interesting games to follow up on. Because we have seen Epiphany Bolt being sort of equal with Misfits, might have thrown them off balance. Gamers Origin, one of the bigger team in Friends, beaten by these Fragsters that have come out and just shown that we can also play meta. We also know what we're doing, and now they're heading for Misfits.
Yeah, it's gonna be real interesting to see, and I can't wait, to be honest, for some more awesome plays. And I'm still, if you can notice that I'm kind of trying to find my words. I'm still a little bit struck by awe of that Symmetra play and that Ninjas with Attitude. I can't really think about anything else anymore.
Some people get starstruck by seeing a big star walking down the street, like Michael Bay.
I just get
and we get starstruck by nano-boosted Symmetras and Bastion, back to back.
But I think Ninjas with Attitude, I think why I love them so much and their style of play with the BMing, with the fun meta, with the fun setups and all of that stuff, is because it reminds me of the King of Nordic style. You know, it's kind of like it's still this thing that really works and it's going forward, but it has their own quirky little
charms
here. Yeah, some charms, some characteristics that you can always, if you have 100 streams on a line, you can point out which one is King of Nordic. If you have a 100 esports team, well, you can point out which one is Ninjas with Attitude.
And for those of you that has only joined us for Overwatch, might not have seen all of this quirky, charmy side that we are talking about currently, but we are also producing CS. We have had a break in our season now. We're going to season 5 very soon.
Indeed.
And that's
soon
where
TM. Soon TM.
Soon TM. And that is where we are going with this sort of non-meta, not non-professional, but non-standard sort of streaming of the CSGO. Because we have seen ESL, a lot of that, with all the super professional casting, everything is suited, everything is just 100% serious. It's almost like an office in a way, except for...
I mean, I would say our thing is maybe not just being having a stick up our butt. I think that's how you explain King of Nordic. It's a fun Counter-Strike tournament without being too, stuck up and like...
We're releasing the pressures from the game a lot of the times.
Yeah, and we like to just have fun. The main point of it is to be entertaining to you guys.
And currently, we really want the players in this tournament to shine and to be entertaining for you guys. That's why we have taken a little bit more of a professional style for these streams. We are trying to go 100% focus into the games at all times, which we don't always do on the CSGO, but we always have fun. Whatever we're producing, we're always having fun.
Definitely.
And something else that is really fun is competitions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the competitions are now being a little bit more easy to perform because we have a competition today at hashtag King of Nordic. It's our Twitter where you tweet out your predictions for the semifinals and the finals, which team is going to face who, what is the score going to be. The two closest predictions before the finals are over or before the finals have started will be taking home a €20 Blizzard gift card.
Or a BattleNet gift card.
Yeah, sort of the same thing in a way.
Sort of the same thing.
It is it's
yes, but
Blizzard's
no.
platform.
Yes, but no.
Yeah.
They are changing the name of BattleNet soon. TM.
They are.
Yep, to Blizzard.
To Blizzard.
Yes. But yeah, you know what we're talking about. The Blizzard store. You can buy stuff there if you win these gift cards.
The only quirk with this competition is that if you win, if you hashtag King of Nordic and you win these gift cards, you will actually have to follow our Twitter in order for us to DM you the code, because that's how it works. We will give you the code instantly if you tweet out what we think is the best prediction of tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to talk to you, we need you to follow us so that we don't seem like complete strangers to your Twitter account.
Yeah, Twitter has that function. You have to follow if you want to DM someone.
And that's not all we're doing today. We're also giving away 6 G2A €20 gift cards. And to win those, you have to go to facebook.com/King of Nordic. We're King of Nordic everywhere, so we're easy to find. And you will have to tag your friend that you duo queue with, your favorite friend that you like to play with. Who is that? Who is your duo queue partner? Who always brings your smile up into the game? Which is that ninjas with attitude to you? Which is that nano-boosted Zarya that you so dearly need? Tag that friend and you will actually be able to give him, her, or they this €20 gift card. So go to our facebook.com/King of Nordic and you tag your friend.
Yeah, that's true. Let's do it. But you know what, guys? It's been fun, all of that, and we will be back soon enough. You can see the timer down there. But right now, we will go into a little bit of a commercial. So, see you soon.
Hey. G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember, G2A.com, the best video game store ever!